On Global TV News Prime, Academic Staff Union of Universities joins NLC, TUC nationwide strike as industrial action heats up. Attorney General of the Federation tackles labor as strike takes toll on essential services. On the foreign scene, Mexico elects Claudia Sheinbaum as first woman president. And in sports, towards World Cup qualifiers, Eagles begin training in Uyo as camp swells. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe. Tonight, we'll begin by telling you protesting workers under the aegis of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have shut down government building at the Federal Secretariat in response to the ongoing industrial action against minimum wage. Our correspondent Michael Edikon observed that the areas were deserted as workers decided to stay back home.
Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! For the union makes us strong.
Despite earlier pleas from the federal government for consideration, the organized labor has withdrawn their services in a nationwide strike to push for a new national minimum wage for workers.
The government have to respond to the call of the workers, because I'm a Christian. The Bible confirmed that even the animal you use to produce your crop, you have to feed it well. The workers are those who produce or who make productivity in an economy and in the country, and the workers must be taken care of.
It's not fair at all, because even this money that they say they are paying us cannot feed our dogs. When you go to collect food for dogs, you pay exorbitantly for dogs. My salary cannot even feed a dog in their own house.
We are tired of this nonsense and the jamboree going on there. We are really tired. So now we want the government to dance to our music, to come to our aids, because people are dying.
There's no justification for that 60,000. It's an insult. It's an insult to us to say 60,000 will be a minimum wage.
Benson Okpa, Head of Information and Public Affairs NLC, said they decided to take the decision following the failure of the Tinubu-led federal government to dialogue and engage stakeholders within the organized labor to resolve the minimum wage.
He did his best, but quite unfortunately, his best was not deep enough. He put literally nothing on the table. He simply asked us to go back, suspend the intending strike action, give them 8 weeks to plead with the president to see whether he will be able to add 1 or 2 naira to the 60,000 it has already offered.
A member of the monitoring committee insists that the 60,000 figure is unsatisfactory by labor representative.
Offering us 60,000 naira is something that we see as highly insensitive, highly unreasonable with respect to the current high cost of living in the country.
With today's strike by NLC and TUC, the labor centers their pressure to the government into offering a higher minimum wage. Both congresses are insisting on the 494,000, which they consider adequate to reflect the current rising cost of living. From the Federal Secretariat, Abuja, Edikan Michael reporting for Global TV News.
Well, thank you very much, Edikan Michael. Following the nationwide industrial action called by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, the federal government has appealed to the leadership of the organized labor to sustain negotiations with the joint committee set up to resolve all the issues at stake. Speaking during a press briefing in Abuja, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, appealed to labor leaders to embrace dialogue and trust government to give Nigerian workers a decent living wage within the shortest possible time. Idris stated that the Tinubu-led administration has a responsibility to strike a measured and realistic balance in its effort to arrive at a new minimum wage for Nigerians. In a bid to stop the ongoing strike by organized labor, the federal government, through the National Salaries, Wages and Income Commission, has extended an invitation to the leaders of the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress. However, it is not yet clear if the labor leaders will attend the meeting. Some unions have shut their workplaces to comply with the directive of the two labor unions to embark on an indefinite nationwide strike. Members of the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria have stopped the supply of water to the National Assembly in compliance with the ongoing indefinite strike initiated by the organized labor. The association, which is under the Nigeria Labour Congress, temporarily suspended electricity and water supply to the two structures accommodating the Senate and the House of Representatives, along with other amenities within the National Assembly compound. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has announced the complete shutdown of Nigeria's power grid by labor unions as the strike by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress begins. The organized labor started a nationwide industrial action in protest of the 60,000 naira minimum wage proposed by the federal government. TCN spokesperson Ndidi Mba stated that the action is deliberately done by the workers. Meanwhile, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi has faulted the organized labor over the nationwide strike. Fagbemi, in a letter to the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress leaders, insisted that the strike over the new minimum wage is a violation of a subsisting National Industrial Court order restraining the unions from grounding the nation through the strike action. In compliance with the directive of the organized labor to embark on an industrial action, the aviation unions have directed their members to withdraw services at all the country's airports. This was contained in a statement jointly signed by the unions after an emergency meeting in the nation's capital, Abuja. The directive comes as all affiliates of both the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria commenced mobilization to ensure total compliance with the union's directive. In the country's southwest, leaders and members of the Lagos State chapter of the Nigeria Labour Congress have shut the gates of the Lagos State Secretariat, Lausa Ikeja, cordoning off the entire premises from workers gaining access. The action is in compliance with the directive of the national body of the NLC over the failure to implement the minimum wage. The strike action has gained momentum as the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has joined the ongoing action by the organized labor comprising the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. This is coming after the federal government had allegedly failed to meet the union's minimum wage demand. In a statement addressed to the branch chairpersons and zonal coordinators of ASU, the association's president, Emmanuel Oshodoke, directed lecturers in universities across the country to join the directive and as an affiliate of the Congress. As the organized labor has declared an indefinite nationwide strike following federal government's alleged refusal to increase its new minimum wage offer above 60,000 naira, healthcare workers under the aegis of the National Association of Nigeria Nurses and Midwives and the joint health sector unions have rendered skeletal services in Abuja hospitals. President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, announced that the strike followed failed negotiations between government and organized labor and its refusal to reverse the withdrawal of power sector subsidy and increase in electricity tariff. The head of the Nigeria National Office of West African Examinations Council, WAEC, Amos Danjut, has appealed for an exemption from the strike backed upon by the organized labor to enable the council conducts the ongoing West African Senior School Certificate Examination without disruptions. The ongoing certificate examination had commenced on April 30 and is scheduled to end on June 24, 2024. Let's turn to other stories for you. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAMB, has announced the release of 3,921 outstanding 2024 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination results. The board spokesperson, Fabian Benjamin, stated that JAMB also announced a rescheduled examination for 24,535 candidates after it analyzed the process and conduct of the previous examination in some centers where there were proofs of substantial non-compliance with its standards. You're watching News Prime, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Prime returns, Madrid's Vinicius Jr. has been named 2023-2024 UEFA Champions League Player of the Season. This and other stories will come your way shortly, right after this break. Please don't go away. This is Global Television bringing you a live broadcast of News Prime with Thuya Mofwegbe. Thank you for staying with us. Let's go to the foreign scene where Claudia Sheinbaum has been elected as Mexico's first woman president in a historic landslide win. Mexico's official electoral authority said preliminary results showed the 61-year-old former mayor of Mexico City winning between 58 and 60% of the votes. This gives her a lead of about 30 percentage points over her main rival, businesswoman Xochitl Galvez. The federal government has revealed that there are ongoing plans to establish 6 mineral centers in the 6 geopolitical zones to boost the mining sector. Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, said the plan is part of President Bola Tinubu administration's commitment to diversifying the country's economy by developing key sectors such as the solid minerals industry. The minister said the centers are also part of the government's commitment to promoting value addition to its minerals aimed at facilitating multiplier effects on the economy. The Building Collapse Prevention Guild, the Ikoyi Obalende chapter, has called on President Bola Tinubu to intervene in the deteriorating state of some national monuments and federal government property within the Ikoyi area of Lagos State. He noted that the Ikoyi area of the state has recently witnessed a trend of building collapses, adding that it is a rarity in its history marked by strict adherence to construction regulations. The Guild has therefore called for revitalization efforts to safeguard the historic landmarks and mitigate the negative impact on Ikoyi's residents and stakeholders. Let's bring you some entertainment quickly. It was a heart-warming moment as Prince Godson tied the knot with his heartthrob Esther over the weekend at the Federal Capital Territory. Global Television was there and now brings you some highlights of the event.
What am I looking for? Say my God, it don't mess me up. They giving me you, giving you me. Opposite key fell my chest, so opposite key fell my chest, me. My baby, you know, say you got love for me.
We are live here for Godson and Esther on their wedding day. It is splendorous, it is beautiful, it is a day of happiness for both of them coming together to be one. And of course, we're live here to get to you the proceedings, the vibes, and the melody vibes right here in the Federal Capital Territory. Godson, Esther, joining together to become one.
I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so happy. I want to give God all the glory for making these days possible. And all thanks to my husband for standing by me through thick and thin. I'm grateful for God for blessing me with a good husband.
I feel so excited. I feel loved. And this is an evidence of what we've been building over the years. And it's empirical that good and the hard work pays, and being a man of the people, you know, generous to mankind, is a virtue.
I I wish them the very best. Blessings. Blessings can be for children, good marriage, and peace in their home. That's what I wish them.
Let's bring some excitement from the world of sports now. Ahead of the crucial 2026 World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Benin Republic, Super Eagles have held their first full training session in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State capital, as more invited players arrived in camp for the outing. The Eagles are scheduled to host Bafana Bafana at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo on June 7 before traveling to Ivory Coast, where they will face the Squirrels 3 days later. In preparation for the games, head coach Finidi George invited 23 Eagle stars, with the return of Maduka Okoye headlining the list of invited players. Former Chelsea and Manchester United boss Jose Mourinho has been unveiled as the new manager of Turkish Super League team Fenerbahce. Following days of strong indications that Mourinho was to take charge, the Istanbul club said in a post on X that the Portuguese manager was to attend a ceremony at their Çukur Sarıkalı ground. Arsenal have announced that 22 players will leave the club at the end of their contracts this summer. The Premier League club confirmed this in a statement on its website. Some of the notable names on the list include Women's Super League WSL all-time top scorer Viviane Miedema, who is speculated to join Manchester City as a free agent. Mohamed Elneny, who has been with the club since 2016 and made 161 appearances as a gunner, and wingback Cedric Soares. In addition, the club also announced that 3 players with the likes of Mario Kozia, Dobry, Carlhen and Royal Waters contracts with the club have run down and are still in negotiation with the Gunners. Real Madrid forward Vinicius Jr. has been named the UEFA Champions League Player of the Season in the 2023-2024 campaign. The award was announced by the UEFA's Technical Observer Panel. This was following the team's performance in the just concluded season. Madrid edged over Borussia Dortmund 2-0 in Wembley Stadium, London, courtesy of a goal from the Brazilian international and defender Dani Carvajal. Junior also turned in a series of sensational displays for Madrid across their victorious campaign, chipping in with 6 goals in all, including the clincher in the final against Dortmund. As we end Global TV News Prime, a quick look at some of our top stories. Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has joined NLC-TUC nationwide strike as industrial action heats up. Attorney General of the Federation has condemned the nationwide strike called by the organized labor as strike takes toll on essential services across the country. On the foreign scene, Mexico has elected Claudia Sheinbaum as first woman president. And in sports, we told you Nigeria Super Eagles have begun training in Uyo towards their World Cup qualifiers bid. And that's it on News Prime, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Uyi Agmofwewe. I'll see you again.